I guess the idea of playing football professionally, I think there was a massive fantasy behind it. I used to, because I was a Crows fan, I used to run around the backyard taking speckies on mum's pot plants, pretending I was Brett Burton. Because I was the only female in the entire league, I was the only girl at school that played, and there was only the men's league that the women couldn't play, and I just assumed it was only ever going to be a fantasy and it was never going to happen. And my first reaction when the league started establishing it, I think it just made the 8-year-old inside of me very happy, sort of knowing that it was potential, that it could come true, and all it took was just me in the end and how hard I worked towards it. If you have a love for something, you will find a way. So I've worn headgear since I started playing rugby when I was a kid. I was tiny compared to the boys, so I think it just gave Mum a sense of security, knowing I was a little bit protected out there. And I think she never really came to watch me play too much because I would just get absolutely smashed by the boys. She's got a vision impairment. She just sort of struggles to follow me on the field. She turned around to me one day and said, I might be able to actually see you on the field if you spray paint your headgear pink. Because I was such a massive tomboy and I hated pink and I hated skirts and all that kind of thing, I refused and refused. And then I saw one in the shops and I bought it as a joke, and I told her, now that I've bought one, you've got to come watch me play. I did it for that game and I just haven't stopped since. When I'm out there playing footy, I'm thinking of her and thinking of my family, so I think it's become a pretty significant part of my game. So I'm posted up in Darwin, working as a medic in the army. I moved to Darwin and I was 19 years old and weighed 55 kilos, and I knew I was going to have the opportunity to go out and support sort of the male-dominated combat units, and I wanted to be able to hold my own weight, and I wanted the guys to sort of be able to rely on me. The mentality that I have with my fitness is the same mentality I go into sort of the medical side of things. It was important to me to be able to work my way up to their standards that were required of the men, both at work and at football. People trying to compare men's football to women's football it's completely useless. They're two totally different sports, and I think people need to appreciate them individually for what they are. And I think the attitude that these women have towards their football is incredible. Knowing that it hasn't come easy for us makes us a lot more willing to work for it and fight for it, as opposed to there's always been that structure for the men. For me, it's not really about proving people wrong. I'd rather go out there and sort of prove myself right and then prove to my family that all the opportunities they gave me and provided me growing up were worth it. I very much struggle with the spotlight of this competition. The biggest impact I want to have is with the girls that are on the field with me, and being able to leave them with that sense of trust and compassion, and be able to walk away from footy with just that.